Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to MLS Mondays, the segment on this channel where we talk about everything MLS that happened over the weekend on Monday. And since today is Monday, we can finally go and talk about all these good MLS things happening or that just happened over the weekend. Just a quick preview for you guys. We got to talk about Zlatan blasting the playoff system in MLS. We got to talk about some good goal-scoring records here by some players in MLS. And we got some good matches to talk about and some possible playoff exits also. So let's get to it. Before we go ahead and get started, if you guys like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up at any point during the duration of this video. And if you guys want to see soccer grow and get the respect it deserves in this country, and you want to be part of that change, then hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell notification as well if you want. Let's talk about some MLS news now. Alright, starting off this MLS Monday with Zlatan, because he did start off this weekend with some bad comments, I'd say. Maybe not too bad, but some kind of comments you don't want to make if you're one of the big faces here in MLS. Now, Zlatan came out right before the weekend and stated that he thinks the MLS playoff system is shit. And I do that because that's literally what he said. I think the system is shit, he told an ESPN reporter or whatever. And basically he went on to further his point, saying, you know, in the league, you basically just need to win the playoffs, and then that's it. Like, you don't have to have a goal of trying to be at the top of the table. As long as you get into the playoff system and win the playoff system, you become champion. And and I kind of get what he was saying. You know, he did get a lot of hate for this because, first of all, Zlatan has yet to play in the playoffs, so he's making statements and attacking this format that the league has over a format he's never played in. Like, he's never played in the playoffs. You know, last year was I think his first year here in MLS. LA Galaxy failed to reach the playoffs, even with Zlatan scoring some nice goals that season. Now this season they are in pole position to go ahead and qualify for the playoffs right now, and I believe they are in sixth place in the Western Conference. But that's not to be really taken lightly, because they've got teams right behind them, like on their asses, so close. You got Real Salt Lake, FC Dallas, and Portland Timbers, who all look to be in good form at the end of this season so far, and I really don't see them losing any streaks, losing any momentum. And I see LA Galaxy losing yet another game this weekend, so his playoff position right now for Zlatan and the Galaxy could be in turmoil if they keep playing the where they are playing right now, and that means not winning any games, not getting any points. So I think Zlatan possibly maybe has sparked some comments about the playoff system because he wants to get his players or his other teammates more motivated to really become a better team, because, you know, they haven't really had any good games since the LAFC derby where they beat, you know, LAFC. They haven't really played well at all. I think maybe this might be a little PR stunt, but then as the weekend went on and the more I looked into it, I really just think he's kind of done with MLS. You know, I think there are some rumors and speculations that he might not be here next season for the Galaxy. So maybe he's just trying to, like, throw all his chips out. You know, he's talking all this trash because he knows, you know what, fuck it, I'm not going to renew my contract this season for next season. So I don't really care what I say with MLS. It's almost like now he's really stating the true meanings of what he really thinks about the league. So that's crazy. And if you guys want to know my opinion on the playoff system, I don't know if I really made a video on it yet, but I was thinking about it, and I might still make one. In a nutshell, I kind of agree with Zlatan. I know I might get some hate for that, because Zlatan did get hate for that. And you know, your boy Drew has not played in a playoff system either in MLS, so I really can't talk. But I am a fan of the league. I am a big supporter of it. And I really am a big supporter of watching the MLS grow bigger as a big league. And I really want the league to get to that state of being one of the best leagues and maybe the top league in the world. But obviously we got many years to go, lots of work to do, and I think a really good thing to look at is the format in which we play our scheduled games. You know, the playoff system is a big American thing, I'd say. You know, NFL has playoffs, you know, NBA has playoffs. Like, it's only natural that the soccer here would have playoffs as well, because that's what Americans are really used to. So in a nutshell, for me, I kind of agree with Zlatan, but then I also don't. Because, you know, it's almost like he comes here and he sees the way it works, and he's like, you know what, that's fucking dumb. That's not how they do it over there in Europe, or blah, blah, blah. He becomes almost like a big Europe head and really judging anything related to American soccer, because those people are out there. They're out there. Trust me, I've come across them a lot in the comments and on Twitter. But basically, I'm indifferent, I'll say. In a nutshell, I'm indifferent. I do like the playoff system to an extent, but then for the most part, I think it can be improved. Or maybe not really reach it down all the way to the 7th place team qualifying for the playoffs. I'd maybe cut it to 4 teams in each conference, or maybe even 3 teams to spice it up a bit. But I think I would agree with Zlatan saying that, it doesn't really spark that much, mentality in terms of being competitive the whole season, because you're like, you know what, we're in 6th place, we're in good position right now, we're not going to lose the last 5 games, so fuck it, we're not going to play that good, and then we'll save our energy for the playoffs. And I get that, it makes sense, but I still think it was wrong of Zlatan. Let me know what you guys think down below. So we also did have some good goal scoring records broken this past weekend, starting off first in Atlanta United, when they defeated NYCFC with Joseph Martinez scoring a brace in that game, which now puts him at 10 consecutive games in MLS where he has scored. So he scored for 10 straight games. I believe the record before that was 8 or 9. So right now he is the record holder, and he's still got a chance to extend that record next weekend again. So I wouldn't put it past him. Next goal score record we got, of course, Carlos Vela, another top striker here in MLS, from another top team in MLS, LAFC. Carlos Vela has become the top goal scorer for players who are Mexican. Or I guess I could just say the highest scored Mexican player ever in MLS. So we'll go with that instead. So before I go ahead and give you guys some quick fire thoughts on the games that happened this past weekend, I want to point out one particular big game that happened this weekend. That being, of course, the long anticipated This Is Hell derby in Ohio between Columbus Crew and FC Cincinnati. Obviously, FC Cincinnati having their first inaugural season in MLS this year, so it'll be the first time to really see these two teams go at it on the big stage. And did it live up to the hype? Two teams at the bottom of the Eastern Conference in terrible form this season. Did it live up to the hype? I'd say, it was okay. It was a 2-2 draw. FC Cincinnati going 2-0 up right before the half, where Columbus Crew had Zarda score a penalty going into the half, and then obviously in the second half, Columbus Crew tied it up 2-2, and that's how the game finished. I didn't get to watch the game live, but if you guys did, let me know if you guys saw a lot of derby moments, like players really in rivalry mode, going at each other, really dirty tackles, really aggressiveness, pride and passion when scoring against a rival team. Let me know if you saw that down below. But from what I saw in the highlights, I think it was a pretty decent game. Could have been better. I think if Columbus Crew was in better form, it would have been better, because I know Cincinnati, teams in derby games really kind of match their opponents' intensity for the most part, for the majority of derby matches. Not all of them. But if Columbus Crew was in a better form and Cincinnati was in the same form now, I feel like it'd still be really high intensity game overall. But, whatever. Now on to my quick fire thoughts this weekend in terms of what games went on. Obviously, let's start off with my boys, Philadelphia Union, getting a late victory against Houston 2-1. And like I said earlier, LA Galaxy lost away from home against DC United. DC United without a sick Wayne Rooney, and LA Galaxy with Zlatan and their new signing Christian Pavone in their lineup, still not able to defeat DC United, who is in pretty bad form recently, as so is LA Galaxy. LAFC defeating New York Red Bulls 4-2. Easy money, as always, for LAFC. What else we got here? Let's see. My screen's loading. Obviously, Cincinnati and Columbus Crew 2-2. A big one there, the last one I want to talk about right now. Real Salt Lake defeating Sporting Kansas City 2-1 away from home. Like I said earlier, Real Salt Lake in really good form, undefeated in 8 games currently right now in the league. And another team catching up to LA Galaxy, putting them in the hot seat. FC Dallas defeating Minnesota United 5-3 at home. Dallas getting some good revenge on Minnesota. A really interesting game, interesting scoreline I saw. And pretty surprising for me. I thought Minnesota, the kind of season they're having right now, would have gone ahead and defeated Dallas, but not the case. And of course, Portland Timbers also winning 3-1 against Vancouver Whitecaps. All three of those teams that won that I just mentioned are putting the pressure on LA Galaxy in terms of making the playoffs this season. I'm out of breath. But that's it for this long video of MLS Mondays. Thank you again for checking in to your boy Juice channel. If you're a fan of the video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe as well. And also let me know your thoughts down below on any of these topics I talked about in this video. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for kicking it with me. And I'll see you next time. Peace.